Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms, and let's get right to it. Lead story, the debt ceiling vote. Well, it made it out of the Rules Committee. Thomas Massey, by the way, voted for it to be out of the Rules Committee. It barely made it out of the Rules Committee, 7-6. But the bottom line is it now goes to the House for debate and a vote today. As I just did a Facebook Live, debt enslaves. And one of the things that debt does is it gives you fewer options. The United States of America, due to its debt ceiling and the amount of its debt, continues to have fewer and fewer options, none of which are good. But that is the way it is. So what are you going to do? It's not good for this country. But it is what it is. We can't default. We can't default. You have two political parties that have to reach some type of an agreement. One party can't dictate what this deal's going to be. They just can't. So it's no man's land. It is what it is. A China jet aggressively intercepted an American jet over the South China Seas. And at the same time, China's military leaders has refused to meet with our leaders. I don't know who wanted to have that meeting and what would be the point, I guess, to simmer things down. Well, China sent its message. They're not interested. Teen mob on a San Clemente beach in California attacked 3 Marines. These were off-duty Marines. And what happened was the kids were shooting off fireworks. Some of the debris were hitting the 3 off-duty Marines. By the way, apparently they didn't know that they were Marines. Must have been a big crowd because I would bet on the 3 Marines, but the teen mom overwhelmed the 3 Marines, including kicking them in the head. I think 9 kids have been charged. They're juveniles, well, probably 16 or 17. Christopher Wray is going to be held in contempt by Congress. By the way, Christopher Wray is the classic guy. I bet you Christopher Wray wakes up every morning. When I say classic guy that does this, he wakes up every morning, looks in the mirror and thinks he's so handsome and he's so Mr. Washington. Yeah. Can't turn over a simple document. Why? We have an FBI that doesn't protect Americans. It protects the Bidens. Plain and simple. Ron DeSantis was in Iowa, raising hell, speaking out against Trump, took a shot at Trump, calling him the entertainment president. Well, I didn't use exact word, but say it's not supposed to be entertaining. Do you know what Ron DeSantis did? He was Donald Trump lockstep in Florida. He followed Trump's lead on everything. Now he's running against him. Why? Why do we need another Trump-like person as far as policy goes to replace Trump? We don't, and that's why he's going to lose. Chick-fil-A is now hired a equity and diversity officer. Here we go. Here we go. By the way, just for the record, Sabrina, Bulldog Media does not have an equity and diversity officer. Bud Light, they're giving it away. I've been getting reports, people sending me texts of what they're selling a case of Bud Light for. It's cheaper than a 12-pack of Coke. They're giving it away. Meanwhile, Bud Light just keeps hurting. Coming up next, Bulldogtv local news with yours truly. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Bulldogtv local news, sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. And guess what? Our lead story is Jeff Pastor. How long has the Jeff Pastor prosecution been going on? A long time. And part of the reason why it's gone on a long time is his former lawyer's Ben Duzing's legal woes. But the bottom line is Jeff Pastor's now agreed to plead guilty to some public corruption charges, faces up to 20 years in jail. He won't get that much at all, probably a couple years. The other thing about this that I'd like to point out is this. It proves what I say if you're ever a criminal defendant. The longer it drags out, the better deal it becomes. Plain and simple. It's the way it works. In law and crime, West Bryce Hill, a 3-year-old, was killed on a scooter, hit by a car A 13-year-old, I think, or a 9-year-old is at Children's Hospital, but the 3-year-old died. It was two siblings on a scooter, struck by a car. Sad, sad, sad. And overnight, 3 were shot. 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3 at the Boulevard in Springdale. No arrests made. In local news, Kroger is locating a new distribution center in Boone County. Lots of money. Boone County just keeps getting it all. In Kentucky news, the Kentucky State University named Dr. Koifi Akapo as its new president. Congratulations to him. Also, Governor Beshear appointed 2 people to the Kentucky Board of Education. Julie Piles is from Florence, and Diana Woods is from Fayette County. So there you have, they filled the positions. I guarantee, even though one of them's Republican, they're both liberal. And then in Indiana news, this is kind of a funny story in a way. Chad Murdoch stole a school bus. And he ended up in an Indiana cornfield. Oh, well, if you're going to steal something, I might want to try a Ferrari next time. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Coming up next, Jamie Spinley and his World News.
Hello, Bulldog Nation. The latest world headlines. Fighting has continued in several parts of the Sudan despite the truce. Zimbabwe has summoned a US diplomat over a social media post. Several buildings were set ablaze after blasts were heard in Kyiv after Russia targeted Ukraine's capital for the 3rd night running. At least 1 person was killed. North Korea has said an accident occurred as it planned to send up its first space satellite, which crashed into the sea last month. North Korea announced today it plans to launch a new satellite by June the 11th. A Columbia pipeline was bombed today by an unknown source. The attack occurred in a rural part of Savina area and an investigation is underway. And in sports in Italy, Juventus will pay €718,000 fine as a settlement agreement with the Italian football authorities over a case concerning payment of players' salaries. Until tomorrow, take care. And as always, thank you for watching Bulldog TV World News.